Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming my mid-month reading wrap-up for the month of May. You can tell I've been out of work for a little while due to my surgery because I have no clue what day it is. I think that it is about the middle of the month. It might be a little bit over the middle of the month, but I'm here to film this video regardless. So I've read six plus one on my Kindle, six books this month. What is going on? Okay, let's focus in here. I've read 6 books so far this month. I've read some really excellent ones, so I can't wait to get started and talk to you about them. So the first book I read this month was Hera by Jennifer Saint, and I enjoyed this book. I did. It wasn't like an all-time favorite book, but I did enjoy my time reading it. This follows Hera, who is like the queen of the gods. She's married to Zeus, and it follows her from like before she marries Zeus, so like just right when the Greek gods and goddesses like defeated Kronos. Is that his name? Kronos? Like their parents, right? So before, like just after that happens, that's when the book opens up and we see Hera kind of struggling with the fact that she is a woman and she's not being taken as seriously as her brothers are. So all of her brothers get this high seat of power and she's kind of just left to essentially just be Zeus's queen, and she is like not happy with it. So it's her kind of going through a lot of emotions trying to deal with the fact that she is not equal to these powerful men. And so it really tells a good story about women empowerment. I really enjoyed this one. I ended up rating this one 3 stars, so it was definitely enjoyable. I had a good time and I really liked the message. I will definitely read more from Jennifer Saint. I also have read Ariadne and I really liked that, so I'm interested in reading her other ones. I think she has one about Electra, which seems really good. So Hera, that was the first book that I read so far this month. Then the next book that I read was The Rose Bargain by Sasha Peyton Smith, and this one was such a good time. I ended up rating this one 4 stars. This one really reminded me of the Selection series, which I was obsessed with as a teenager. That series was my everything, and this book brought me right back to those times. So this book takes place in a land where there is a queen and she's fae. So she's a fae queen, but she's queen of the human realm, and she grants a wish to every single person in this society. So she lets them make their wish, and sometimes people will choose things like to make themselves more beautiful, to have more money, to fall in love, all of these things, and she grants all these wishes. So it follows our main character, Ivy, and Ivy, the season that she's going to come out, so it also has like Bridgerton vibes because like they're like debuting in society, right? So she is coming out this season, but there is a new kind of competition going on where you can be in the running to marry the prince, so the queen's son, and he's also part fae. So you are in this competition, but there is a catch, right? So if you join this competition, then you won't be able to marry. So if you are in the competition and you don't win, you're basically a spinster for forever. And this competition is very extreme. So it's like definitely like trials, like they have to like go through all these trials and figure out things about themselves and things about the world around them while they're simultaneously like fighting for the prince. It was just such a fun time. I really recommend this one if you're looking for a fun YA romantasy. This one, it fits the bill. Like I said, Selection. Think Selection, but like darker, a little bit darker than the Selection series. So good. I really enjoyed it. So the next book I read is Killer of Mine by Alexis Grace, and I read this one on my Kindle. This one is quite interesting. It follows our main character, who is the daughter of a serial killer. So her father is known as the Crosscut Killer, and she is a detective, or she's like, yeah, no, she's definitely a detective. And then she runs into these FBI agents who are hunting down her father, and obviously she has some inside information because he's her father, so she gets close to these FBI agents, and it's like a group of, I want to say 4 of them, if I'm remembering correctly, 4 FBI agents, and she obviously has a romance with each and every one of them. So if that is something that's interesting to you, this might be a fun book to read. I rated this one 3.5 stars. It was a fun time. If I'm bored, I will definitely continue on in the series. Like if there's a time where I just want something really fun and spicy, then I will definitely go for the second book in the series. It was quite the time. It was quite the time. I did enjoy it. It was interesting. That's all I'll say. Next, I had a 5-star, knock it out of the park read that I was just obsessed with, and that is Silver Elite, like Dani Francis. Yes, I'm just like everybody else. I ate this book the heck up. It was so much fun. If you are of the era who loved Hunger Games, Divergent, stories like that, if you love a dystopian book, you're going to love this one. This one is dystopian for adults. The spice is there. It is, woo! This was so much fun. So this follows our main character who has like psychic powers, but in her world, psychic powers are illegal. You can't have them. They'll kill you if you have them and you're not like working for the government essentially. So she has them, but she's obviously very secretive about them. She's lucky because most people, when they use their psychic powers, their veins light up silver, but hers don't do that. So she's like lucky. She's able to hide it really, really well. So her uncle, I believe her uncle, is part of this underground network, and she is also part of the underground network, but like in less of a way. So one day her uncle gets caught. He gets caught, he's sentenced to execution, and she is taken to join essentially like the police force of this world, right? Like they are the people who are hunting down the rebels who are against them. So she's going through like all of these like trials, and it's sort of like trials, like it's like she has to like get past certain levels to become a Silver Elite, and she is working to become a Silver Elite. At first, she's definitely like sabotaging her chances because she doesn't want to be one. She doesn't want to be one at all. So she's really, really sabotaging her chances. But then as the story goes on, things change, and it was just so good. And her romances with like the captain of this like guard, oh my gosh, it was so good. The twists and turns in here had me. This book was 5 stars. This is exactly up my alley. Like if a book was written for me, it's this one. It was just so fun. I had such a great time reading it. Like, I want to read it again. I just want to read it again. It gave me the feelings that like reading Fourth Wing for the first time gave me. It was just so much fun. I really enjoyed this one. Then the next book I read was The Thrashers by Julie Soto. And this was also a really fun time, but in a very different way. So this is a YA thriller. So basically, there's like this group of like popular people at this school, and they're called the Thrashers, and our main character is one of the Thrashers, but she kind of feels like she's on the outs of this group. Like she doesn't feel like she fits in with them, but she is still one of them. Like people still like idolize her essentially with all of the other Thrashers. So this story follows our main character kind of dealing with that, like feeling like she's on the outside, while simultaneously there's this other girl named Emily, and Emily wanted to be a Thrasher. She wanted to be one so bad. She hung out with them, everything like that, until one day Emily killed herself. But there's an investigation going on into the Thrashers to see what could have caused her to kill herself. Like, are the Thrashers to be held responsible for this sad, tragic event? So this book follows the story of them trying to figure out really what was going on with Emily. And oh my gosh, it was such a fun time. I ended up rating this one 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed this YA thriller. If you're a fan of books like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, you have to try this one. This is in a similar vein. It's not the same at all. It doesn't really follow any of the same themes, but it is really good. It's a really good YA thriller, and I absolutely recommend this one. And finally, we had another 5-star read. and that is One Golden Summer by Carley Fortune. Mwah! I loved this book. I loved this book so much. I essentially listened to it in one long car ride, and I just did not want to stop listening to it. Like, it was so much fun. So much fun. 5 stars. So I have really liked Carley Fortune's other books, but this one is by far my favorite. So this one follows our main character, who's a photographer. And when she was younger, she went to this lake and she took this picture of these 3 people on a boat. And that picture really inspired her to pursue photography. So that picture means a lot to her. So now she's older. She goes back to the lake that she took this picture on. She goes there with her grandmother, who is going through some health issues. So she goes there for the summer with her grandmother, and she ends up meeting one of the guys in the photo. And it's a love story between her and one of the guys in the photo. And it was so good. There's a little bit of like a twist at the end. Not a twist like a thriller twist, but like there's something that's kind of like alluded to throughout the whole book, but you don't really know what's going to happen. And when it did happen, oh my gosh, I was sobbing. Tears. It was such a good book. Like, I really was rooting for these characters. And when I read a romance, if I'm not rooting for it, then I can't be bothered. I don't care. And I was rooting for them. I wanted them to be together so bad. I really enjoyed this one. Like I said, 5 stars. It was such a fun time. The perfect summer read. Like, the perfect summer read. It was just a blast. And with that being said, those are all the books I read for the first half of the month. You'll have to tune in at the end of the month to see the rest of the books that I read this month. But so far, so good. I really enjoyed all of those books. There's not a single book that I disliked. So I hope that you found something new to read, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!